Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. We're gonna try something new today. I'm gonna take a little step from another YouTuber. We're just gonna cruise around town. We're gonna talk about some investments. We're gonna talk about silver and gold. And it's a good question that a lot of people ask. They said, you know, it hasn't done anything. It's been sitting for a while. Why would I even be involved in this? And it's a great question to ask because we wanna make the most money possible. Something that I've always tried to teach other people is to be ahead of the trend. When you're ahead of the trend, you make more money because the valuations of whatever you're investing in are super low because it's not the fancy, exciting thing. You know, most people make their money in an investment at the top, you know, 2/3 of a parabolic run, and they think they've crushed it, but really they haven't because they didn't invest long time before when nobody was investing and you missed out on the rest of that parabolic curve. Not only that, when valuations are low, there's way more potential for explosive growth in anything, right? So the facts are gold has on a percentage basis, outpaced the indices, all the major stock market indices for the last 20 years. In silver, yeah, it's lagged. It's up, what, about 60, 70% in the last couple of years. I don't count that anomaly, that massive drop after everything's, you know, got shut down, locked down, because that's just an anomaly. But the facts are, when inflation starts to rear its ugly head, gold and silver still lag. And the reason why is because it has monetary properties to it. And most people don't understand that, and they don't rush in until inflation's got really, really bad. And then when they do, they rush in big time. Now, something that's changed, because we talk about the Federal Reserve and all the stupid stuff they do. I want people to realize the Federal Reserve is a reactionary style, you know, they're not proactive. They react to everything. And why do they do that? A lot of you might think, well, they're super smart. They've got a lot of stuff going for them. You know, they control everything. Why would they react instead of being proactive? It's because if you're proactive, you get blamed. If you're reactive, then you're the hero. And that's what they do. And I think that people miss that fact. Now, throughout time, gold has been used as a hedge against uncertainty. It's not, I don't consider it an investment. I consider it an insurance policy. You know, you don't, I've heard, George Gammon said this, you know, you don't go out and get auto insurance hoping that you're gonna make a ton of money, you know, off of a bad thing that happens in your life. And I'm paraphrasing, I apologize. He says what happens is that insurance is there that if everything goes wrong, you're made whole. And that's why there's a lot of wealthy people in this world that hold a certain percentage of their wealth in gold, right? Well, now on the flip side, there's other investments like mining companies, which today, I'm gonna tell you, this mining company reached out to help sponsor the channel. And I said, thank you so much, that's awesome, so that I could keep putting videos out like this. Quite frankly, it's a lot of work to put a few videos out a day. I have the greatest subscribers in the world. Honestly, I'm not even joking. And so I jumped to the idea and said, let's do it. So today's interview, all right, I'm back. So the ninja lost his notes back there, had to run back. So today's video is sponsored by Silverton Metals, and I'm so grateful for that. We're gonna get into Silverton Metals and what they do in a little bit later in the video, but I did wanna talk to you about some things. So again, taking a note from other great YouTubers, look at this. I live next to the ocean. Now the lighting's off, but I don't need my sunglasses. Whew, it's bright back there. It's interesting because what we've been talking about, I was talking about cryptocurrency like crazy in 2016, 2017, and then I got quiet as it made its dip, and then I started talking about it again in 2018, or late 2018 to 2019. And then I got quiet again. Why? Because the run-up starts happening. And it's no fun to talk about things when it's running up. It sounds funny that I would say that, but it's absolutely true. The facts are, I like to get into everything when people are crapping on the idea, when people are going, you're crazy, you're never gonna make money. That's when I know that I'm in something real. And honestly, it's like they said in the movie The Big Short, when everybody's telling you that they're invested in a certain thing, like in that movie it was real estate, you knew it was time to get out. And that's what happens when, you know, all of a sudden, you know, the gentleman that's, you know, reaching his, you know, let's say mid-60s is telling me in the grocery store I just bought Dogecoin, I go, yeah, you know what? Maybe we'll hold off and we'll get into something else that nobody else is in, and then we'll sell it to them when it gets super high. So let's turn around here. And it sounds funny, but that's how I do my investing. For a while, I wanted to be part of the mainstream, be a part of what everyone's doing. And then I figured out, wait a minute, that's not where the real money is. The real money is investing in something that everyone can't stand. Well, now to say that silver is unliked or gold is unliked actually isn't the case. Right now, worldwide, after everything was shut down, people started to figure it out. They immediately, when they had 2 weeks vacation, let's say, everyone was shut down, especially in this country, in America, they didn't go jump on Netflix. A lot of them jumped on YouTube, and the numbers were astounding. How many channels, financial channels, opened up, and we saw amazing amounts of people that were out looking for knowledge and understanding on markets. And that led them to understanding a lot about silver and gold. So as they were starting to learn about silver and gold, that's when Wall Street Silver was formed. And Wall Street Silver literally redefined the silver investor. I heard, I did an interview with Rick Rule once, and he said on the interview, he said, I was completely wrong when I thought that the people investing in silver at Wall Street Silver were going to get crushed by the COMEX. He said, you know, back in the early 80s, late 70s, the Hunt brothers were 3 guys with leverage. Wall Street Silver is 1 million people with cash. They're completely just redefining what we think of when we talk about investing in silver. So I think that's very important to note. We've never in history, especially in my 11 years of investing in precious metals, witnessed 160,000 people come together on an internet platform, and all they're doing is trading stories and photos of their newly acquired silver, the stories of how to get it cheap, where to go get it for the best price, the best service, giving stories about their local pawn shops, you know, what they're doing, what's you know, getting them excited. And what's happening is it's driving a whole new generation of people. I know not only millennials that are investing in precious metals now, I know Gen Z kids. I tell this story about a gentleman that's a subscriber to my channel, 16 years old, and he told me every 2 weeks I go and he works at McDonald's. I buy 1 ounce of silver every 2 weeks. Thank you so much, Ninja. And I couldn't be more happy, more proud of that. So I want to get into this company, Silverton, and the reason why is because I think it's very important for you to start, even if you're not investing in stocks. We have a little bit of time, right? Gold and silver are starting to move up. They're not moving up like other asset classes, but what's about to happen, I believe, in the future, if we have a bond collapse or a bond shakeup, and we see the dollar start to rapidly fall in value, precious metals always go higher when the dollar goes lower, all right? So I don't know if you guys have checked, but last time, the dollar's not getting any stronger because they keep printing it to oblivion. So I think it's very important to realize that. So with these metal companies, the stocks, I want to highlight these companies so that you start to get to know them. Doesn't mean you've got to dump a bunch of money into them. I'm literally watching these and studying them. I'm getting to know the owners. I'm getting more versed in how the companies do their operations, because I think it's very important, because when the day comes that you go, okay, gold and silver are starting to make the run, I know what the mining stocks are going to do. Guess what? You're not new to the subject. You're not the one just literally trying to chase every meme mine stock. I'm just throwing that out there. You never know, that might come out pretty soon. Meme mimes. Ooh, mine memes. Oh man. So my whole point is that you have an understanding and knowledge of these companies. Like, oh, I have heard about that. Oh yeah, I am familiar with that CEO. That's right. They were doing drill holes the first round. Now they've done 3 sets of drill holes, and the numbers keep getting better. And those are the kind of things I want you to know about, because having an understanding, a working knowledge of these stocks, you're not going to be that guy that goes, what do I invest in? I don't know what to do. Just tell me something. And you get into the latest and greatest, and then it comes crashing down because you didn't do your research, okay? So let's switch over, and I'm going to go over this project in more depth, okay? So I thank you guys so much for watching this. We're going to jump in now to the studio so I could actually put up some fancy graphics, or at least have my son help me with those. Here we go. All right, here we are, Silverton Metals. It's crazy how I can go from the beach to all of a sudden out here in the desert in Mexico. Now all of a sudden I'm really hungry. I love Mexican food. All right, so here we are, guys. I thought it would be good to just bring you through the website. I'm going to put a couple links in the description below so that you can read some more, do some due diligence on this. Now, in full disclosure, I do not currently own this stock. I want to keep bringing these ideas to you guys look at these prices. I used to read about the run up in silver and gold mining stocks in 1980 when all of a sudden everything was hitting its parabolic bull run because inflation had been ravaging the nation for 3 to 4 years prior to that. And then all of a sudden when gold and silver took off, I heard of stories of stocks going from $2 to $200, and that's pretty remarkable. So my thing is that I don't want to miss out on this opportunity. Now, Silverton Metals is an exploration company. Now, remember, we've talked about this before. Explorers carry more risk, or more, I'm sorry, not risk, volatility, I apologize, as, you know, when you compare them to junior mining companies or major miner companies, right? So I like volatility when I'm looking to invest something that I'm planning on seeing upside potential, right? So essentially, it's one thing to say you're leveraged at a higher rate of return possible when you invest in a stock as opposed to the underlying asset, whereas inside of the stocks, mining sector stocks, you have even more leverage when it comes to these resource companies. And it's very important with resource companies, in my opinion. And guys, remember, I'm not a financial analyst. I am not a professional trader. This isn't investment advice, but for me, I'm looking at their drill results. Are they hitting the mark when they set out their drill plans? Are they hitting actual silver? And then for their next drilling, are they hitting even more? You know, are they able to define the map of where that metal is? Because they're trying to paint a great picture for either larger companies to come in and say, hey, we want to partner with you. We'll bring in the infrastructure. We'll make a deal right now and bring a ton of value to the company. Or the company, let's say in Silverton's situation, they may go, you know what? We know what we got here. Let's just go get the funding and build a mine ourselves. So, and there's all kinds of experience levels that are involved here in this company, and I'm going to highlight that too. So first, what I want to do is I want to show you the fact sheet, and I'm going to have a link to this. And this shows you a lot of, obviously the directors and management, but it also tells you about their 3 projects that they have. So it's not just one project that they have exposure to. The other thing I want to show you, and we're going to get to the corporate officers and the experience. Now remember, we're talking about a pure silver play in Mexico. Now, of course, there's always other metals involved when you mine, right? But this has more silver than most, and it's rare to find a major silver either producing company or an exploration company that's found an area of dirt that mainly has silver. That's why a lot of us invest in certain companies, let's say like First Majestic, where they're also located in Mexico. They're a pure silver play, but they're actually in production. So that's why their shares are different. There's a whole different deal there. So this shows you right here, and this is why Keith Neumeyer's put so much money into Mexico. There's so much silver in Mexico. When you compare it to these other countries, the top 10 silver producing countries right here, look at how much more Mexico is than any other country. You know, in the USA, we pulled a lot of silver out of the ground in the 1800s, but really, in comparison, we are the lowest, especially compared to Mexico. So last year and the year before, Mexico just crushed it. So I really like to see that going on. So on the corporate side, I wanted to bring you to this part. Let's do this. Investors. Why invest? So on the why investors, obviously it does touch on the Mexico aspect. Like literally, we are in the silver capital of the world when we're drilling here. But I wanted to talk about the CEO. So it says here, experienced leadership team with over 100 years of combined experience in exploration and management. That's one thing. But check out the CEO. CEO John Theobald. Hopefully I pronounced your name right. I apologize. The ninja. You guys know how the ninja is. President and CEO of Silverton Metals has had over 35 years of not only exploration, development, operational, and M&A experience. But what I really like here is he was also the Anglo-Pacific Group he's the former CEO of that company. So a huge record, past experience of taking mines from companies from resource to producing companies. So I really like that aspect there. The other thing I wanted to highlight too is I love that they are putting in their website why, you know, it's more than just a resource company. They understand why, like we were talking earlier today, why silver is so important. They understand the value of what they have in the ground, and they're going to treat that hopefully with the utmost respect. And when I say hopefully, you know, that's something we want to look at when we're talking about mining companies. You know, the share structures, how they're set up, who's investing in these companies is a really big deal. But they quote the different reasons for silver. This will be a great resource for you guys to check out. Get to know why silver is so important. And you know what? Let's talk about this too. Not a lot of people talk about, we've talked about medicines, we've talked about automobile production, things like that, but 5G networks is also a very big deal. You see, in a world where copper can take the place sometimes of other metals, but it just takes a lot more of it to move the amount of amperage needed for a given job, silver is unlike any other metal on Earth when it comes to electrical conduction because it has the highest heat to melt ratio. It can push through a lot of amps before it detonates, and that is why it is superb in the use of electronics. But there's a big buildup. It's one thing to say, hey, we've got solar power going up and all that stuff, but we also have this massive 5G rollout that's happening all over the world. And they cannot do this rollout without silver. And that is another amazing, strong reason why I love this metal. Another thing too, I don't know how many people have understood the antimicrobial aspects of silver and the fact that they're used in medicines. It's absolutely unbelievable. I know cancer, there are certain cancer treatments that involve the use of silver, and silver is used in my personal water filter. I absolutely love it. The other thing I wanted to point out before we let you guys go, and I've already provided the stock tickers, but I'm going to provide it again right now up in the corner. Here we go. The demand for a green economy. Now, we've talked about this before also. Regardless of if the economy collapses or keeps booming, the fact is, even if the economy collapses, governments around the world are bent on doing this new green initiative, and there's nothing really we can do to change it. What that means as an investor that I really like is that there is going to be more money piled in by governments. They're just going to keep printing money to push it towards green initiative style projects. And what that's going to need is more copper and very much more silver, because all this renewable energy. You're going to see more solar demand, which needs more silver, more electric vehicle demand, which needs more silver. All of these things equate to the need for more silver. So that is another thing that I really think you guys should check out. And again, I'm going to link that in the description below. So guys, I hope you've gotten something out of this. I can tell you right now, I'm excited for the move that's coming in the metal space. I'm one of those weird guys that when metals, come down off the price, I'm actually grinning because I have more of an opportunity to invest in the underlying asset, to keep a lookout for the move in these prices in these stocks. I think it's very important to start weighing your options and start getting to know these companies now, watching them, and then when the time is right for you, if that's up to you and you want to make a jump into any of these companies that we talk about, I think that then you're doing it with a lot of understanding and knowledge, and that is what you need to do and have to be a good investor. All right, guys, with that being said, I thank you so much for watching. I thank Silverton Metals for allowing me to do this video and for helping support the channel. You guys, it's a real blessing to be able to do this so that I can put out more and more videos for all of my awesome subscribers. With that being said, guys, I thank you. The Economic Ninja is out.